Hadoop. What a funky name. What is it? Why is it so important among IT industry? Is it an programming language? Is it a database? No, no, no. It is much bigger thing than that. What is Hadoop? Hadoop is an open-source software framework for distributed storage and distributed processing of very large data sets on computer clusters built from commodity hardware. Commodity hardware means low-cost hardware that can undergo failure sometimes. For example, our laptop's hard disk. All the modules in Hadoop are designed with a fundamental assumption that hardware failures are common and should be automatically handled by the framework. Who created Hadoop? The genesis of Hadoop came from the Google file system paper. That was published in October 2003. This paper spawned another research paper from Google, MapReduce, a simplified data processing on large clusters. Development started on the Apache Nutch project, but was moved to the new Hadoop sub-project in January 2006. Doug Cutting, who was working at Yahoo at the time, named it after his son's toy elephant. Hadoop 0.1.0 was released in April 2006 and continues to evolve by the many contributors to the Apache Hadoop project. And now Apache Hadoop 2.7 is available. Why Hadoop? Traditional RDBMS stores only structured data. It follows schema-on-write approach. We use Hadoop generally to store and process big data. Big data is data that is beyond the limit of storage and processing of traditional database systems. Big data is a combination of transactional plus non-transactional data. Other question arises. What is transactional and non-transactional data? Well, transactional data is basically data which has predefined structure. That is data that can be stored in traditional databases. While non-transactional data is data with no predefined structure. And it is mostly a streaming data. The problem of storing the big data and processing big data efficiently can be solved using Hadoop framework. What is Hadoop framework and how it works? The core of Apache Hadoop consists of a storage part, known as Hadoop Distributed File System, HDFS, and a processing part called MapReduce. Hadoop splits files into large blocks and distributes them across nodes in a cluster. It also maintains redundancy of data for its availability in times of failure of particular node. To process data, Hadoop transfers packaged code to nodes for parallel processing of data that needs to be processed. This approach is called as data locality. Flume injects streaming data into Hadoop. Streaming data is the data that is continuously generated. For example, hashtag data generated by Twitter. Scoop imports and exports data in between traditional database systems and HDFS or HBase. Zookeeper coordinates services for distributed applications. Hive is data warehouse tool which is only used for processing of only structured data. It uses language HQL, that is Hive query language, which is similar to SQL. Facebook developed Hive and made it open source. Pig is also a data warehouse tool which is used for the processing of structured as well as unstructured data. It uses its own data flow language Pig Latin, which is very similar to SQL. Yahoo developed Pig and made it open source. Oozie is an ecosystem to define workflows and scheduling workflows in Hadoop framework. HCatalog is a table and storage management layer for Hadoop that enables users with different data processing tools like Pig, MapReduce, Hive to more easily read and write data on the grid. HBase is one of the NoSQL databases which comes under the category of column store. In HBase, columns are stored as rows. So you can take any of these frameworks that you need to do your task, configure them, and your Hadoop ecosystem will be on.